Plink, 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 plonk. Okay. So anyway, check out this goofy bird.
Great spot to watch from.
The whole game's here tonight.
How'd that happen?
Don't know. Destiny?
More like dumb luck.
Let's go find him.
Excuse me.
See you around.
You know.
No, but I want to.
You just missed her. She said she'd be at the usual place.
Thanks.
Sorry about that. Now, who'd you say you were looking for?
Gasp. Why do you keep punching? Oh, by the way, I meant to mention this before. If Hope had just ran a bit faster, he would have made it past that wall thing, and then he wouldn't be here for the rest of the game. Just saying, there is a universe where he just made it past that wall. He was so close.
A wish?
Maybe I was. I was hoping that tomorrow I can tell my sister.
Is Sarah the shortest human being alive,
I'd be
or is
so
Snow
mad,
just really tall?
knowing I hid it from her.
Don't worry. I'll take the blame
Holy
for
crap, he towers over her.
You know, you should ask for something bigger. These are wish-granting fireworks, like in the stories.
Stories, huh? The sea who fulfill their focus, they become crystal and gain eternal life.
Would help if they gave you some clue about what you're supposed to do. We'll figure this thing out. You will never be one of those monsters.
So what will I be? A crystal?
Yesterday at the store, I got us something. Don't know much about jewelry, but I hope you like it. I will stand by you, no matter what happens. I'm yours forever. Sarah. My one, my only. Will you marry me?
Yes.
She said yes!
Yes. Very iconic scene here. One of my wallpapers is them looking at the fireworks here.
Gotta love these fireworks. They granted my wish.
Your wish?
Before I asked you to marry me, I wished that you would say yes.
Then maybe they'll grant mine, too.
What's that?
To have the courage to tell Lightning that I've become a lassie.
Hey, our engagement is way bigger news.
What a terrible thing to wish for.
Oh, man, I can't wait to see her face. She'll be my new sister.
Yeah.
That seems very dangerous. This is probably gonna destroy my video. Oh well.
Hey, Snow?
Yeah.
I told you it was dangerous.
That was close.
Gorgeous. Our own private heaven.
All we need. Just you and me.
That's the wallpaper. Man, those graphics are wildly impressive. Like, all the super zoom
Thank you,
ins.
Snow.
This was early PS3. And they zoom in that close to their faces constantly, and it looks so good. I really liked that scene. I don't remember that scene being so good, but I feel like it really puts Snow's character in perspective. Up to this point, it's just like he's this brash, punch everything guy, but this gives his character a bit more background. We're like, oh, this is why he's so like this, because he's going to do anything for her. And like, he's like that with everything. He's not just like that in combat, but he's like, even though she's probably doomed, he's sticking with her. So it gives his character more of a, you understand his character better. Like, why would he go through all this for her? But like, this gives you a reason. So I really like that scene a lot. That does a lot for Snow's character. It's cool to see even before, I mean, at that point she was already a Lassie, but you know, he was dedicated no matter what. Like, you're a Lassie or you're not, I'm here for you. It's like, that was cool. That was a good scene.
Sarah!
He doesn't seem so one note now. It's like there's a reason behind it, you know?
Is this for real?
Now he's two notes. Still can't make a song out of it.
This must be Lake Brescia? Well, I guess we fell from up there. And the lake turned to crystal? Help me out here. I mean, did the Foul Sea do this? How in the world did we end up here?
How should I know?
We're alive. How?
Sarah! No one survives a fall from that high. Not without a miracle. Sarah saved us!
Sarah, listen. It's all your fault. She got...
Hey! Watch out!
What did I just do?
You used magic. You used the power of Lassie. The Foul Sea cursed us. We're Lassie now.
Right.
Oh, that sword is so cool. Do I have to do cool stuff now? Alright, talk about paradigms instead. So I have a big issue with this system. I like it a lot, but it has its issues. You assign characters most effective roles for a given situation by changing the party's paradigm. You can switch between paradigms as often as you like. First L1 paradigm deck. Each paradigm assigns specific roles to the members of your party. As roles define the spells and abilities available to a party member, as well as their general behavior. Offensive paradigms concentrate on dealing damage. Defensive focus on protection, healing. Current paradigm, Relentless Assault, is an offensive paradigm in which multiple attackers coordinate their efforts. The paradigm's 2 Ravagers target whichever enemy the commando attacks, with the goal of quickly filling the enemy's chain gauge. If you wish to continue using the Relentless Assault paradigm, press circle to close the paradigm deck. If you wish to change paradigm, select the new paradigm and hit X. One of your party members has just taken damage. Wow. Tribute to Solidarity will cause Snow in the role of Sentinel, boosting his defenses so he can shield others from enemy ire. The Mule's role will change to Medic, causing her to concentrate on healing wounded allies with Cure. Once the party has recovered its strength, you can shift back to Relentless Assault and continue battling your enemies. I can now ruin. Look at Snow just throwing out the spells. 4 stars. Wow.
So we really are Lassie.
Looks like it.
You too?
Yep. Right here.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Couldn't hers have been on her arm?
Let's see to the last.
Why me? I don't even know you, but you have to go and attack that thing? Just leave me alone. It's your fault. It's your fault, You could have. All of this is your and Sarah's fault.
Watch it!
Sorry.
Everything is gonna be all right. You'll see. Come on. Off we go.
Again, why is he blaming Sarah? He doesn't even know Sarah. He's just like being a jerk.
See, huh?
Yep. We're all playing for Team Post now.
Saz seems excited.
Why me?
You know what I think would have been kind of cool? I mean, I know why they didn't do this, but I think what would have been kind of cool is if they had you do that fight with no tutorial. Like afterwards have the tutorial, but just kind of like throw you into that fight as if it's a normal fight, but then give you all these options just to kind of like fit with the story where like they don't know for sure if they're LC yet. And then they get into the fight and there's all these new options and you just kind of play around with them. And then after the fight, he's like, oh, so we are LC. Like, I think that would have worked a lot better than doing the tutorial right away. And then like after that, they could have explained everything. I get why they didn't, but it'd be cool to like LC. That's the Spanish version, LC. I said it right the second time. But yeah, I don't know. I like when the gameplay, you know, one of my favorite things about the old Final Fantasies is when the gameplay, they help tell the story through the gameplay. So if you think about like those old fights in like Final Fantasy 4 and 5, where they tell some of the story through the combat. 6 also did it, where characters like die in a fight, or they show the power of a character through a fight. This would have been a cool point to do that, where like you suddenly have all these abilities you can mess around with, but you don't know why, and then it comes out of the fight and then they're like, oh, that's why, you know. It's just a shame, because they did such a great job of that in the old games, where they would use the combat to tell the story, and now it's all just tutorials. And the fighting and the gameplay feels so separated from the story, and I wish it was more connected like it used to be.
Trust the soldier to keep her cool through this mess.
But that do be modern gaming.
Okay, if we don't know our focus, how do we complete it?
I think I saw it.
Saw what?
That is how a focus comes down, people. The Fal'Cie, they don't spell it out with clear-cut instructions. All you get is a hazy glimpse. Well, you know, that's what they say. You know, legends and all. Legends. Yeah.
Did you see anything?
I just... It's all kind of foggy, but I saw this big, towering...
What? Wait a minute. Hold on now. Do we all have the same dream?
Ragnarok.
So, we all saw the same dream. We all heard that same voice.
You mean that was our focus? But how are we supposed to know what to do from that?
That's the tricky part. The dream's the only hint the Fal'Cie gives us. Figuring out what to do with it, that's our job.
Okay. We're Pulse-L'Cie, right? Enemy's a Cocoon. So, does that mean that our focus is... Are we supposed to...
Save her.
Say what?
Our focus is to protect Cocoon.
Really? Okay. And why's that?
Sarah told us. Let's do it.
That makes no
We're all in this
sense.
together. I'm gonna look for Sarah. She ought to be nearby.
I'll come too!
Doesn't make any sense. What?
Wait!
Why are we pretending like that made sense?
Jeez. Yeah, that boy can't stay still.
Really?
I don't understand. So, the Fal'Cie cursed us, and we're trying to figure out what our focus is. And Snow is like, well, it's to save Cocoon. And they're like, why? And he says, because Sarah said so. Sarah is not the Fal'Cie. Sarah is a person. How is that connected to the Fal'Cie or our curse? And then they're all just like, okay. What? That makes zero sense. Having become L'Cie, the members of your party can now develop their powers. As in, now it's an RPG. Alright, I don't remember if I like this thing or not. I'm actually kind of curious to see. I don't really remember how this works. I think use offensive magic, spell ruin. This next rune is dim, but extending the line of Christogenesis. To reach it, Landon can obtain the crystal and its benefits. Immense path of Christogenesis by holding X. You obtain a strength plus 4 crystal and increase lightning strength attribute by 4. Abilities can only be used when in the corresponding role, but attribute bonuses like this one apply across all roles. Okay, that's what I was waiting to hear. Normal line will advance till you run out of CP, however it will stop automatically at branching points. So I do remember liking that a lot. I always like when there's a roll system, but each roll gives you permanent buffs for your other rolls. That's something I was missing from some of the other games that I wish was a thing. So that's already a big bonus for me. Now the question is there normal levels? Strength plus 18? That seems a bit insane. How much CP do I have? That's a lot. What? Oh. Oh, I already have her. Is that it? Why are the controls so blast? It's linear. Couldn't they have done this better? Why can't I just... Okay, Alright, time for WoW Death. You're really complaining about that? Why can I not just scroll over to HP plus 30 and hit X? Instead, I gotta scroll to where I'm at, hold X, and then hit up. Why? Why can't it just be like the sphere grid, where you just select what you want? Why they gotta overcomplicate it? That's so stupid. Also, I like how his crystal looks like a chocobo feather. Holy crap, he has a ton of stuff. Why does he have like 97 nodes? And Snow has 3. Is it just Ravager? No, Ravager also has 3. Sentinel has more. Snow sucks, confirmed. I wonder if it's because, like... Well, for one thing, Saz only has Ravager. But maybe Ravager is more of a primary role for him. So he has more stuff going on. I hate this. Why is it so hard? Synergist, sure. No, I want to go the other way! Oh my god, I blew it. There is no reason why this menu needs to be this complicated. Like, there's no reason why I should accidentally go the wrong way. Okay. You can customize... Can I make a new one? Try Disaster. So I remember this. It gives you like new names depending on what you pick. That's probably all I need right now. I just wanted a triple Ravager one. I feel like I remember having one Commando and then 2 Ravagers is actually better than having 3 Ravagers, because like the Commando opens them up or something. I don't remember. Maybe not. Maybe I'm misremembering.
We need to find a way out of here. We can worry about everything else later.
I'm gonna worry about everything right now. Yeah, we talked about that a lot when we talked about 10. How a lot of people gave this game crap for being linear when 10 was pretty much the same, but I talked about it a lot at the very start of the stream, if you want to go back and watch the VOD. A lot of it has to do with the state of the video game industry when this game came out. When this game came out, everyone was having like a huge issue with games being like waypoint simulators. It was hitting a fever pitch where, like, when the PS3 first came out, all these games came out that were like super linear and waypoint simulators, and at first people were willing to deal with it, but it was starting to get to the point where like it was hitting a fever pitch. Everyone was getting sick of it. People wanted more open experiences, and then this game was announced, and everyone was like, oh, this is it. Square Enix, they're gonna save us. They're gonna make a big open world, because 11 and 12 were both the most open Final Fantasy games, period. You know what I mean? Square was going the exact opposite direction. Everyone else was going linear, and Square just released 2 of their biggest, most open world games, period. So when 13 was released, everyone was singing the same thing. Like, this is going to be like Final Fantasy 11 and 12. It's going to be super open. And then it came out, and not only is it linear, but it falls into a lot of the same exact tropes that all the games that were coming out that people were getting sick of were falling into. So it became a huge, and then JonTron uploaded that video that went viral, and a lot of other people jumped on the bandwagon, and it just became Hallway Simulator the game, and it's never really broken out of that stereotype. But like I said before, this game had so many dedicated followers that it eventually kind of, I wouldn't say it ever broke out of that mold, but it did its fair share of, it had its fair share of success. And obviously it was successful enough because it had 2 sequels. So I wouldn't say it was like a disaster or a, from a standpoint of Square Enix, I don't think it was a failure, but it did have that meme status for a long time. And to be fair, it kind of deserved it. I think Square Enix knew what people wanted, but they had their own plan for 13, and instead of changing their plan to better fit what people wanted, they just stuck to their plan, which is a very Square Enix thing to do. So they kind of paid for it a bit by not listening to the fans, but then in the end it worked out because people still love this game, and it's still a good game. So, but it just kind of goes to show what happens when you don't listen to what the community is saying and what they're wanting. You end up getting memed on. And this game got trashed when it came out. People were not happy. But like I said, it weathered the storm, and now it has a very dedicated fan base. So, well, there's a difference between making every Final Fantasy game different and just completely being tone deaf to what the game industry needs. I'm not saying that 13 is different than 12, therefore bad. I'm saying the industry as it was in a super we're sick of this type of game state, and then Square Enix just dropped the absolute pinnacle of that type of game. So. And then they tried to roll it back with 14, where they're like, oh, we got memed on for making a linear game? Let's make a new MMO then. And then they paid for that too, because 14 was a complete disaster when it came out. So they really were just missing on all fronts at the time. But like I said, this game weathered the storm. I mean, even when it came out, it had its dedicated fans. And it came out on the other side as one of the most successful games in the series. It had 2 sequels. It had a lot of other things. Lightning is still one of the most memorable characters in the whole series. And maybe not memorable, but like monetizable, I suppose. There's a lot of Lightning merch, and she's in a bunch of different things. So yeah, I mean, it made it out on the other side okay, right? How do I can I change my party? No. But I do have Vanille, so I can change her weapon. Thought once to have been the staff of a monk, this item boosts the spiritual abilities of the wielder. That's great, but does she even have any magic? Ravager has magic, right? Yeah. Yeah, you know, I know that there was a lot of issues with Versus 13, but along with the issues we already know about, part of the problem might have also been this. It might have been that they wanted it to be similar to this, and then when this got so much backlash, they were like, okay, we need to shift focus. And that's where 14 and 15 happened. That was their attempt to shift focus and not do another waypoint simulator game. And it's great to see now Square Enix kind of sticking to their guns still to this day, like with 16 and with the remake too, you know, saying we want to make this type of game. We're listening to you guys, but we have a plan, we have a certain way we want to do it, and we're going to do it that way. I think it usually ends up working better in the end when they do that. But it has to be said that this game was very tone deaf. It really was. I mean, there was not a single person saying they wanted this game to be a waypoint linear type game, especially at the time. So it was definitely tone deaf, but like I said, it worked out.
Ragnarok. That's the reason we're Lassie. To stop it. To keep Cocoon safe.
Yeah, why don't you give us one reason to believe that? One reason.
Sarah.
That's
She said to protect Cocoon. And then she turned to Crystal. That's the proof right there. She completed her focus. That means ours is to save Cocoon.
okay, that makes more sense.
Sarah's fal'Cie was the same as ours. Our focus has got to be the same. We were chosen to be guardians. To defeat Ragnarok. It makes sense.
What the hell it does? You're grasping at straws, son. Post fal'Cie are Cocoon's enemies. We just got recruited by one of them. If I were a betting man, I'd put us on the other side.
So Sarah's an enemy too? Well, I don't buy it. We have the power to save Cocoon if we work together and carry out our focus.
The fal'Cie took Sarah from us, and you want to help it? Whose side are you on?
Freeze!
Huh?
She could have just slit his throat there. She was
Place
careful.
your hands behind your heads! You fall off the purge train?
Maybe.
Or are you talking back to me? Huh? Huh?
Nice gun.
Stop her! Breathe!
Guys, you should try shooting your guns. Never mind. Now lightning's so cool. They forgot their bullets. I wish to manually enter commands in battle. First choose abilities. Choose ability. Yeah, we know how to choose abilities. But gotta explain that again. Becoming a Lassie extended lightning's ATB gauge by one segment, meaning she can outperform level 3. Now that her gauge is longer, she can also. It also takes longer to fill. However, you can execute commands at any time. To do so, simply press triangle. So execute commands assigned to charge segments. Leftover charge to be carried over. Take a look at the ability list below. The number next to each ability is its ATB cost. This is like... Entering commands manually allows you to determine their order, which is important since chain bonuses vary by command. That was blatantly obvious, but okay. Could have just said press triangle to do less than full commands. Tutorial over. Pause, I gotta read my weapon manual.
I thought they'd be tougher than that. This guy's a psychom, yeah? Supposed to be cream of the crop.
Yeah, but psychoms...
Bro, we how many of these guys have we fought already? We just spent 3 hours fighting these guys. You've killed hundreds of men at this point, Saz.
An anti-pulse task force. They haven't fought a war in centuries.
Okay, maybe not
A bunch
hundreds.
of rookie troops swinging around overpriced toys.
So, from what you're telling me, sounds like a regular old soldier has got more training than special forces.
Nothing for us Lassie to be afraid of.
Cut the crap. Their grunts might be green, but PSICOM's elites are cold-blooded beasts. They hit the field and it's game over.
Uh-oh. Then let's run away. Ciao!
Wait, hey, wait!
Alright.
What's a man to do?
Ciao. Guys, look at this map. There's something suspicious about this map. I don't know what it is. It's so narrow. I feel like so much is happening in the battle that I'm like not in control of. I kill one enemy, then everything else is just dead. Which is cool. Like, my other characters are actually doing things. They're strong. This isn't a Donald and Goofy situation. Yeah, but Final Fantasy VII has the gold saucer. So, literally the most open world game ever made. You can play like 3 games. That always blew, I mean, I love the gold saucer as much as the next guy, but that always blew my mind when people would say stuff like that.
That doesn't look good.
Like, the gold saucer is one of the most open, you know, the game is so open. It's such an open world experience. I used the gold saucer and stay there for hours. And I'm like, what did you do in the gold saucer that took you hours? Played the basketball game? I love the gold saucer, but come on. You're not spending that long there. Like, the battle arena, sure, but you really playing the motorcycle game and the basketball game for like 10 hours? I don't think so. There's only like 4 games. You got motorcycle and snowboard, which already exists in the game. You're just replaying it. Granted, there's more to do. Well, the motorcycle game literally is just a copy of the motorcycle thing, you know? At least the snowboard has like different routes and time trials and stuff. Then you have the basketball game. Then you have the wrestling game, which is just mashing. And then you have the fighting thing, which is just rock, paper, scissors. And then Mog House, which you can only do once. Well, you can do it more than once, but it's the same thing every time. And the sub game, which is, from what I understand, everyone hates the sub game, so I don't think it counts. I like the sub game, but whenever I bring it up, everyone's like, ah, the sub game. So I don't know if that counts. Like, that's not what makes the game. That's not what gives the game a lot of content. What gives the game a lot of content is everything else. Gold Saucer is dope though. As I've said it before, Final Fantasy VII is pretty linear till the end. You really have nowhere else to go but forward for the first 1.5 discs. And when you go back to other towns, there's not really anything to do. It's not like if you go back to Midgar later, there's like stuff to do. There's nothing. The only true, like, repeatable, returnable thing is, Fort Condor. But the discs are circular. But see, we'll get to... The thing is, I think a lot of the outcry with this game, like I said before, it has a lot to do with the state of the game industry. But also, even separated from that, I think that a lot of people didn't finish the game. You know? They played a few hours and they were like, wow, this is so linear, and then quit playing. Whereas if they had continued to play, they would have realized that it never really gets better and it's still linear. Like, I remember getting to the end of the game and being like, wow, they were right. Like, there is some side quest stuff at the very end, but they were kind of right. I mean, it doesn't really ever open up. I would have loved to be like, guys, you're all wrong. If you just play 20 hours in, there's a literal Gold Saucer 2. But unfortunately, everyone's jump the gun opinion of this game was actually kind of right. It really does not open up much at all. Till the very, 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 very end. But, to be fair, I am a huge defender of the hunt system in this game. I loved it. I hope it's as good as I remember it being, because I remember really liking it. I mean, not as good as 12 or anything, but I thought it was fun. I thought it was good. From what I remember, there's not much to it. You just kind of go fight the enemy.
Weird, isn't it? All the messed up ways to meet. I might as well make introductions.
Why does Saz keep doing that?
Snow Villiers. Short stuff?
Hope Estime.
What about her?
Bodum Security Regiment. She goes by Lightning. Last name's Farron. First, anybody's guess.
Vanille.
Saz, Catsroy. Good to meet you.
There's a lot of French influence with the names.
It's not right. Why kids have...
Vanille even said ciao. I wonder what
I'll
other
keep the
French
kids out of
influence there
trouble.
is.
Problem with that is, you're one of them.
Hey,
Trying to take on the post-Foul C. That was our first mistake.
He was playing a harmonica.
Sanctum. Why not? I mean, we've counted on the Sanctum's Foul C.
Ciao is
for food,
Italian.
water, everything we've needed since the time we were born.
but you still helped us do it.
Are the names more Italian then? Am I getting my Italian and my French mixed up? The Chocobo.
Why is that?
The Chocobo's playing the harmonica.
There might have been. Not so sure anymore.
That would be incredible if they just flipped over to the chocobo and he was just playing a giant harmonica that's like 3 times his size. Claire is French. It's... yeah, I suppose it's kind of a mixture, huh? What the heck is Saz's name? What was his last name? I don't know what that's... what his name is rooted in. Katzeroy. Maybe we can find out. German, maybe? I'm just kind of curious, because his name is so different than the rest of the names, you know? Saz's name is not a common word, unlike the other party members, like Lightning, Claire, Eclair, Hope, Snow, Fang, Vanille, Vanilla. His name could allude to the word jazz. That's all it says. Doesn't even give me like a... taken from anywhere. Now that I read that, I didn't even really notice it, but yeah, a lot of their names are just words. Lightning, Snow, Vanille kind of sounds like Vanilla. Hope. Fang. Wonder if there's a reason behind that, or there was just like, that was the theme they went with. Just words. They're trying to... it's just another way they're trying to simplify the game. First we have hallways, then we have waypoints. We gotta make everyone's names 4-letter words.
That's what I'm talking about.
All these long anime names are too much for our audience. We gotta name everyone 4 letters. Or in Vanille's case, her name is literally Vanilla.
Don't sweat it.
It's the most simplest name we can think of. Gotta make it simple for these simpletons. I mean, at least, honestly, I feel like the game has been pretty good in terms of, like, hand-holding. I was a little afraid that this game was way more hand-holdy and annoying than I remembered, but honestly, I think it's pretty good.
No problem.
It is a breath of fresh air versus, like, Lightning Returns. Oh my god. Just the difference between this game and Lightning Returns. I could make a whole video about the state of the gaming of, you know, modern gaming, and just use this and Lightning Returns as an example. Like, just the difference is shocking. The difference between this, where it's like, do you want a tutorial? Yes? Okay, here's a little snippet of a tutorial. Versus Hope calling me every 3 seconds to tell me the same exact thing again, and then yell at me when I do it right. Like, oh my god, that game was one of the worst in terms of, like, the player's experience at learning the game. Just one of the absolute worst. A perfect example of what not to do. It's that game. I mean, there's a difference between a game that's just bad, like it just doesn't really work well, and a game that's actively frustrating. I've never been more frustrated playing a game than playing Lightning Returns. I was just mad the whole time, like, just yelling at the character, shut up, let me play the game, please. I'm begging you. What kind of weapon was that? Is that... I have no idea what I just got. Oh, it's an accessory. Increases magic by 20. So... I do remember having one issue with the characters in this game. Their roles are a bit weird to me. Like, I remember using Lightning... I think I used Lightning, Snow, and Vanille for a good chunk of the game, even though I didn't like Snow, because I didn't understand what Saz and Hope were supposed to be. Like, it kind of feels like Hope is supposed to be a support, but Vanille is like the healer, so I don't want a healer and a support. And Saz just feels like a worse Snow. Like, Snow is super tanky. Like, I don't really know what Saz is supposed to be, right? So I feel like their identity as a character doesn't work as well, those two, as these three are obvious. Lightning, damage. Vanille, healer, magician. Snow, tank, right? It, like, those fit perfect. And then you have these two, which are just kind of there, right? And they change depending on the paradigm, but still, their core identity doesn't really stick out as well as these three characters. So it's kind of hard to know what to do with them. Did I get that item? Am I going the wrong way? Follow the big arrow. Wrong hallway. I have two choices, that way or this way. It can't be this hard. You got a 50-50 shot of going the right way in this game. All right, I think this is a good place to stop right here. We're about 4 hours in. I think we're a bit shy of 4 hours, but I want to make sure to have enough time for 16. And this is probably a good stopping point in terms of the story, so let's just call it here. What a great start. I'm definitely... I was a little nervous going into this playthrough, because like I said, I have not played this game since it came out. With the exception of like 1 hour I played for a Christmas event we did like 3 years ago. And I was just bored to tears playing it when we played it for that Christmas event. It just was not resonating with me, even in like a funny way, like even in like a haha making fun of the game kind of way. Like I was just bored. So maybe I just wasn't feeling it that day or something. I don't know. But I was a little nervous going in, like, oh man, is there going to be a lot to talk about? Is it going to be boring? Like, what's going to happen? So I'm very happy to say, not boring. Like, what a great start. We had a lot to talk about, a lot of like with the story, but then also just the way the game plays and everything. Like, I am very much looking forward to this playthrough now. I want to see where it goes with the mechanics, where it goes with the story, because I don't really remember everything. And a lot of the conversations we had about the game too were really interesting, and I really want to see more of what people really connect with in this game. Like I said, I'm looking at two very specific things throughout this playthrough. One, is it as linear and, you know, there's not enough content as we kind of memed on it when it first came out? And what is it about this game that gave it so many dedicated fans to the point where it got 2 sequels? So I'm interested to hear what other people have to say. You know, whenever I challenge a character, like, why is this character like this? I like to hear what you guys have to say about it. You know, defend the character if you like that character. What is it? You know, what do you think about the character? So it's really great to hear that. I'm interested to hear some of the comments and what you guys think about some of my opinions so far, and your opinions on the game, and you know, what was your experience with 13? Usually on these first episodes, people like to kind of just talk about their experience with the game. So I'm excited to hear, did you play the game? Did you skip this one because of all the backlash? Is it one of your favorites? Are you one of those 13 diehards that loved 13 always? I'm excited to hear about it. But yeah, that'll be it for Final Fantasy XIII for now. We will check back in next week. Of course, we're going to continue our Fantathon schedule every Friday. And depending on how night 16 goes, maybe we start doing double days next week or the following week. But for now, it'll just be 4 hours on Friday, and then the episodes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And we'll continue our quest to casually Let's Play every game in the series. It's cool to finally be at the modern games. You know, it's kind of wild to think that we're here, but on one hand, it's like, wow, we're finally at the, or we're at the modern games now. But then on the other hand, it's like it's been 2.5 years. It took us 2.5 years to get here. So on the one hand, it feels like it was quick, and on the other hand, it feels like it took a long time. But regardless, we're here. I'm ready. I'm excited. We'll see you in the next episodes of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIII. Peace.